गोपीजना वल्लभा गिरिवराधारी गोपीजना वल्लभा गिरिवराधारी यशोदनंदना ब्रजजना रंजना यशोदनंदना ब्रजजना रंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभा गिरिवराधारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभा गिरिवराधारी यशोदनंदना ब्रजजना रंजना यशोदानंदना ब्रजजना रंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan Radhe. Jai Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jai Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladev, Jaya Subhadra. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jai Vishnupada Paramahamsa Privrajagacharya Stotra Sata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Labai Charanaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Shila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Vishnupada Paramahamsa Privrajagacharya Stotra Sata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Shila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Shila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवद्वीप श्री मायापुर धाम की जय। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। गंगा माँ यमुना माँ की जय। वृंद देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय। श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद ट्रांसेंडेंटल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जय। The most merciful Lordship Sri Sri Radha Madan Mohan Ji ki jai. The most merciful Lordship Sri Sri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani ki jai. The most merciful Lordship Sri Sri Gaunithai ki jai. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Samaveta Gaura Bhakta Bunda ki jai. Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी। Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 24, entitled Chanting the Song Sung by Lord Shiva, text number 66. Pramattamucchairiti kritya chintaya Pramattamucchairiti kritya chintaya Pravruddhalobham vishayeshu lalasam Pravruddhalobham vishayeshu lalasam Tvamapramattas sahasabhipadyase Tvamapramattas sahasabhipadyase Kshulle lihano hiriva ivakumantakaha Kshulle lihano hir ivakumantakaha Pramattamucchairiti kritya chintaya Pravruddhalobham vishayeshu lalasam Tvamapramattas sahasabhipadyase Kshulle lihano hirivakumantakaha Pramattamucchairiti kritya chintaya Pravruddhalobham vishayeshu lalasam Tvamapramattas sahasabhipadyase Kshulle lihano hirivakumantakaha Pramattamucchairiti kritya chintaya Pravruddhalobham vishayeshu lalasam Tvamapramattas sahasabhipadyase Kshulle lihano hirivakumantakaha Pramattamucchairiti kritya chintaya Pravruddhalobham vishayeshu lalasam Tvamapramattas sahasabhipadyase Kshulle lihano hirivakumantakaha Pramattamucchairiti kritya chintaya Pravruddhalobham vishayeshu lalasam Tvamapramattas sahasabhipadyase Kshulle lihano hirivakumantakaha. Any Matajis? Pramattamucchairiti kritya chintaya Pravruddhalobham vishayeshu lalasam Tvamapramattas sahasabhipadyase Kshulle lihano hirivakhumantakah. Pramattam, persons who are mad. Uchchaihi, loudly. Iti, thus. Kritya, to be done. Chintaya, by such desire. Pravruddha, very much advanced. Lobham, greed. Vishayeshu, in material enjoyment. Lalasam, so desiring. Tvam, your lordship. Apramattaha, completely in transcendence. Sahasa, all of a sudden. Abhipadyase, seizes them. Kshut, hungry. Lelihanaha, by the greedy tongue. Ahihi, snake. Iva, like. Akhum, mouse. Antakaha, destroyer. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation, my dear Lord, all living entities within this material world are mad after planning for things, and they are always busy with a desire to do this or that. This is due to uncontrollable greed. The greed for material enjoyment is always existing in the living entity, but your Lordship is always alert, and in due course of time, you strike him just as a snake seizes a mouse and very easily swallows him. Please repeat. My dear Lord, all living entities within this material world are mad after planning for things, and they are always busy with a desire to do this or that. This is due to uncontrollable greed. The greed for material enjoyment is always existing in the living entity, but your Lordship is always alert, and in due course of time, you strike him just as a snake seizes a mouse and very easily swallows him. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Everyone is greedy and everyone makes plans for material enjoyment. In his lust for material enjoyment, the living entity is described as a madman. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Prakrute kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasaha ahankara vimudhatma kartahamiti manyate. Shri Shri Gaunita, Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan, Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki jai. The bewildered spirit soul, under the influence of the three modes of material nature, thinks himself to be the doer of activities which are in actuality carried out by nature. Everything is enacted by the laws of nature, and these laws are under the direction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The atheists or unintelligent men do not know this. They are busy making their own plans, and big nations are busy expanding their empires. And yet we know that in due course of time, many empires have come into existence and been destroyed. Many aristocratic families were created by people in their own extreme madness, but we can see that in the course of time, those families and empires have all been destroyed. But still, the foolish atheists do not accept the supreme authority of the Lord. Such foolish people unnecessarily concoct their own duties without referring to the supreme authority of the Lord. The so-called political leaders are busy making plans to advance the material prosperity of their nation. But factually, these political leaders only want an exalted position for themselves. Due to their greed for material position, they falsely present themselves as leaders before the people and collect their votes. although they are completely under the grip of the laws of material nature. These are some of the faults of modern civilization. Without taking to God consciousness and accepting the authority of the Lord, the living entities become ultimately confused and frustrated in their plan making attempts. Due to their unauthorized plans for economic development, the price of commodities is rising daily all over the world to so much so that it has become difficult for the poorer classes and they are suffering the consequences. And due to lack of Krishna consciousness, people are being fooled by so-called leaders and plan makers. Consequently, the sufferings of the people are increasing. According to the laws of nature, which are backed by the Lord, nothing can be permanent within this material world. Therefore, everyone should be allowed to take shelter of the Absolute in order to be saved. In this regard, Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suridam sarvabhutanam jnatva mam shanti mruchati. The sages, knowing me as the ultimate purpose of all sacrifices and austerities, the supreme Lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attains peace for the pangs of material miseries. If one wants peace of mind and tranquility in society, he must accept the fact that the real enjoyer is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord is the proprietor of everything all over the universe, and He is the supreme friend of all living entities as well. By understanding this, people can become happy and peaceful individually and collectively. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnanjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vancha Kalpatarobhyasya Kripa Sindhu Bhevacha Paditanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Brinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langaite girim Yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam. So in these prayers, we can learn many lessons. This is a prayer sung by Lord Shiva in glorification of the Lord. So in this particular prayer it is said, the pramatta word is used twice. One is apramatta, another is pramatta. Pramatta means madness, apramatta means being very alert and conscious. So, Srila Prabhupada is discussing in the purport about plan making. Everybody in this world is making a lot of plans. No one is there who is not aspiring to achieve something in this world. And if someone is not aspiring to achieve something in this world, they are considered as most useless fellows. They are good for nothing people. The society will not advance because of such people. They are called Pragati Nirodhakas. Pragati Nirodhakas means, they obstruct the advancement of the society. What is the advancement of the society? The advancement of the society is simply increase many, many facilities in this world so that people can live happily. That is what is the intent is. And if we try to comment that this is not a very good thing, they may not accept it. Like, if you want to increase the niceness of the toilet can be increased. It looks very, very distasteful to hear this. Why are you speaking like this? Nobody can increase the niceness of the toilet. Maybe increase the size. Some big apartments, the size of the toilet is bigger. And also they will put all kinds of, exhausts and different kinds of, perfumes also. So that the experience in the toilet will be nice. That is how, we try to do. People who have a lot of money, I heard somebody who has a lot of money, he has kept a toilet handle also gold. One Hollywood actor gave a gift to his girlfriend. And what was the gift? Toilet seat bedecked with jewels. I am not speaking simply some trash, this is truth, whatever I am speaking. So you see the consciousness of that person. Lot of money is spent for a toilet seat. Lot of money is spent for a toilet door handle. And this is considered as advancement. And Vedic civilization, if you see, toilets are kept outside the house. Nowadays they have become, part of the compartment of the kitchen. Because they don't want to, spend a lot of money for the pipes. Kitchen anyway, pipe is there, no? The same pipe has to be extended. So the toilet is there next to the kitchen. The business is that eat and, go and then go and again eat and, pass. Eat, pass, eat, pass. Eat, pass, eat, pass. That is the whole idea of the modern civilization. But in the Vedic civilization, the whole idea is that you keep it outside. You go to the toilet and don't come to the house without fully being pure. You have to take bath and then come to the house. That's the Vedic civilization. So why are we talking about toilet? So plan making in this world is like decorating a toilet. Just like it is considered to be foolish to decorate a toilet, similarly, making plans to do something wonderful and big and great is also same thing. Why? Nothing sustains forever in this world. Bhutva bhutva praliyate, that everything has to be destroyed. Everything is existing for destruction. That's all. It comes, stays for some time, and gets destroyed. That's all it is. Whether it is big empires, whether this is material body, or anything that you consider in this world, everything is meant for destruction. So, when you know that it is going to be destroyed and still you try to construct something, that means either you have no brains or you have childlike mentality. When you take the children to the beach, what do? With the sand they make nice houses. Only the house will be destroyed when the wave comes and washes it away. Similarly, the waves of time will come. Great aristocratic families have been destroyed. Great empires have been destroyed. Once upon a time, the English people, they felt that in our country, the sun never sets. That is how they portrayed their empire. What does that mean? Sun never sets means what? Sun has to set. Sun rises in the east, sets in the west. So in their country, in their empire, sun never sets means what? The whole of the world is ruled by Britishers. You go east or west, it is their kingdom. It is they are the ones who are ruling. But today, they have become so tiny. The Britishers have become so tiny. In fact, they are begging for from Europe. There is a Brexit agreement between the Europe and then the Britishers. They are not able to find their place in Europe because of some financial transactions. So once upon a time, a great British empire, today is just a small country begging for their existence. And it can happen to anyone. So, from the spiritual point of view, from Bhagavatam point of view, you see any great thing that is being established, it's all being destroyed. Once upon a time, New York City posters used to be put in about New York City. If you have seen posters, till 2001, till 2001 only those posters were existing. After 2001, the whole Swarupa changed. Why? The landmark of New York City is these two WTC buildings, World Trade Centers. The moment they were crashed down by the terrorists in 2001, it's no more the address of New York City. Similarly, London, you will find a big, huge bridge. That's the address of London. That's how it is portrayed. Similarly, Hyderabad, how it is portrayed? Charminar. Like that, every city is portrayed by one building or the other, which will be destroyed in due course of time. Anyway, today or tomorrow. You think Charminar is going to exist? Taj Mahal is going to exist forever? As much as the WTC buildings were existing forever? No matter what repairs you do, it doesn't matter. One big earthquake may come and everything will be destroyed. So, what does that mean? Should we not construct buildings then? Should we not construct monumental buildings? Should we not glorify certain great families? What do you mean? This is not a very progressive understanding. But Bhagavatam says, yes, there is no point in simply making someone a big entrepreneur or a big aristocratic person. How many aristocratic persons have come and gone? This is like to say, in the contemporary situation, it is like, your YouTube views or YouTube subscribers. YouTube subscription is a very short-lived one. People tend to be proud by showing their subscriptions. You see, I have these many subscribers. I have those many subscribers. And it puts you in such an anxiety to produce content more and more crazy. Because if you don't maintain that content, then the subscribers will go. So similarly, plan making in this world is of that nature. And why we are plan making? Why we are making so many plans? Because of greed. Matta pramatta kurute vikarma yadindriya priti aprunoti. It is said. People are very mad after sense gratification. They are ready to do anything. Many people come to Hyderabad to only eat dum biryani. Can you believe this? Whatever is famous for that particular place, they are ready to travel from a long distance to enjoy that particular object. What is it called? Pramatta. Pramatta means madness. Yes, it is madness. And in the pursuit of this madness, what do? Yat matta pramatta kurute yadindriya priti aprunoti. Kurute vikarma. Vikarma means one is not at all shied away to do sinful activities. Vikarma. We are ready to do any sinful activity. Doesn't matter for us. All I need is sense gratification. That's all. So today the culture is that, uh, when people are marrying left and right, not one marriage. The famous thing is that many people, it's a joke, they say, the wife and husband both are talking to each other. You know what is the conversation? The children are quarreling. So the wife is telling, my children and your children are quarreling with our children. You understand the joke? My children and your children are quarreling with our children. That means she has her own children, he has his own children, and then later they both married and they have their own children. Now all of them are fighting. That is what is today's society is about. It's really, ridiculous, but that's what it is. And what is the source of all of this? Pramatta. Pramatta means being very insane. Insane means, the mind is not functioning. You just want to go for it. Just go for it. Just go for it. Don't even think, just go for it. So much so that, the meat eating is increasing, the consumption of alcohol is increasing, and people are drinking, smoking cigarettes, and then all kinds of tobacco-related, things. Although it is very clearly mentioned there that it will cause cancer. The advertisement has increased in all the cinema halls and in all kinds of, places. Don't consume tobacco, it will give you mouth cancer, but it's only increasing. What is it called? Madness? Yes or no? Knowing very well you are consuming that poison. So this is, one great Acharya, he sings a very beautiful song about this. Manusha janama paya Radha Krishna na bhajiya Janiya suniya bisha khaino Janiya suniya bisha khaino. Knowingly, after hearing sufficiently, knowingly you are drinking poison means who can save you? So after having this human birth, and if still we don't worship Radha Krishna, but only consume all these kinds of things which are so deadly, it is written very clearly there, smoking is injurious to health. Alcohol consumption is injurious to health. It is very, very, they are only increasing the size of it. Still the consumption has not decreased, consumption has only increased. Just see the mentality of the people. They thought that if they bring Nirbhaya rule, everyone will stop abusing women. No, it has not stopped, it is only increased. Giving death penalty to people will decrease it. It will not. They are pramatta. Pramatta means, they are very, very mad and insane. So when that insanity is sitting in our head, no good instruction will work for such person. Greed, insanity will drive us crazy. And that is what is mentioned in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. Because where is sanity? Sanity will come when you sit and hear Bhagavatam from Bhagavatas. Then sanity will come. They do not let you sit peacefully for some time. The amount of concentration today any person can keep has reduced to few seconds. Do you know that? It has reduced to few seconds. That is why the channel has to keep, going around and around, and one after the other, one after the other, one after the other. Everyone is trying to get that space of 10-15 seconds. That is why most of the advertisements are 5-second advertisement, then skip it. Because they know that this person is not going to, see that. So this is the space that they wanted to put their product in. 5-minute, 5-second space. And some of you do not know, we had a time when there was only one channel called Doordarshan. And some most boring program also is being played in Doordarshan. The whole family would sit with great attentiveness and watch this program. Some of you cannot conceive something like that. Because some of you are born, you're digitally born people, some of you. Those who are born after 2000, they are digital children, they are. Digital youth and digital children they have become. They cannot conceive something. People almost forgot to read books now because everything is available in the net. So what is this called? Is this called advancement? This is not called advancement. This is called madness according to Srimad Bhagavatam. This is madness. Just like a moth is getting attracted to fire and entering into the fire with great speed. What is that called? Is that called advancement? It is actually suicidal. So, Srimad Bhagavatam is giving us, hang on a little bit, sit down peacefully, hear carefully what is going on. What are you and what you have come to because of the present situation. What are you? There are 3 things that we have misunderstanding because of which we ended up in this situation. 3 things have gone wrong, totally wrong. 3 things. And if we replace those 3 things properly, then the insanity will go away. What are the 3 things? Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Bhoktaram, the first thing. Bhoktara means who is the enjoyer? Are we the enjoyers or Krishna is the enjoyer? Krishna is the enjoyer. We are not the enjoyers. Then who are we? If Krishna has to enjoy, who are we? I am a good for nothing. Only Krishna has to enjoy. No. You give enjoyment to Krishna, your enjoyment is there in that. So nice it is. Like Prabhupada gives the example of a hand. The hand is the eater or enjoyer of the food. Hand is the carrier of the food. And the food has to go into the mouth. And then you chew it nicely, the tongue will taste, and the stomach will digest it, and the energy is distributed all over the body. But if the hand thinks that, am I subservient to this fellow called stomach or mouth? Can I not eat myself? So one day he has declared strike. Hand declared a strike. On whom? On mouth and stomach. So he doesn't want to supply. He wants to eat by himself. So he is trying his best to eat himself. Simple example, but very profound understanding is there in this example. So he is trying to enjoy, and finally all the fingers are getting fatigued. And then finally the hand will fall without any strength in it. You simply do your job, you will get strength. Your enjoyment is there. My dear hand, your enjoyment is there. When you supply the food to the mouth, then your enjoyment is there. Similarly, you supply enjoyment to Krishna because you are part and parcel of Krishna. Your enjoyment is there in that. You pour the water at the root, all the branches and twigs and the leaves, everything will be flourished. You put water directly there, it will fall down. It will dry up and then get disconnected from the tree. How many times have we heard this? Probably hundreds and millions of times we heard this. It is truth, but how much did we actually take it in our life, apply it in our life? The same dog style business. You try to, try to make it a straight lane and then leave it like this. Why? Because we have made this hearing as a ritual. We have made God consciousness a ritual, practices of God consciousness a ritual, not actually understanding the meaning of what is said. So this madness has to stop. The first madness is, I am the enjoyer, is the first madness. So what is the remedy for this? I am not the enjoyer, I am the enjoyed. I am the enjoyed. I am object of enjoyment for Krishna. How can I make myself available for Krishna to use me in service? This consciousness, when it comes to the living entity, he is safe. So, one contamination is gone. I am enjoyer, the contamination is gone. And what is the second one? Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram. Sarvaloka maheshwaram means I am the controller. I am the Lord of all I serve. Everybody has this controlling mentality, right? Whether it is in a non-devotee circle or devotee circle. Same controlling mentality. I am the one who preached to him. Don't touch him. He is my buddy. I have very carefully trained him to this extent. Don't put your finger and then, spoil his faith. It's all there in us. So controlling tendency is there. You have no actual power to control. Because, in spite of all your efforts for hundreds of days, hundreds of hours you spent for this fellow, after his desire is fulfilled, he will go away. He will go to another fellow. Right in front of you, he will go to another fellow and glorify him. And you are burning inside. Does it happen or not? It happens. It happens. So, we must know that we don't have power to control anyone. The sooner we realize, the better it is. And who is the controller? Krishna is the controller. Even if you stop Krishna to control, you cannot succeed. Krishna will remain the controller. How? Mrutyum sarvam harasya. As Mrityu he comes, takes away everything that you have kept under your control. Either he takes away whatever you kept under your control, or he takes away you. One of this. Both have same result. If he takes away you, then you have no power. If he takes away what you have controlled, then you have no power. So the sooner we realize, the better it is. This is the second thing. So I am not the controller, then who am I? I must have some role in this whole process. Just like I am not the enjoyer, then who am I? I am the enjoyed. If I am not the controller, then who am I? I am controlled. I am not the controller, I am controlled. You think being controlled is any less privileged position? No. It's a wonderful position. To be controlled is a very privileged position. To be controlled by Krishna, not to be controlled by Tom, Dick and Harry. To be controlled by Krishna is a very privileged position. It is said Lord Ramachandra is very fortunate because he got Sita Mata as his wife. But Lord Ramachandra's qualities are so great that even if Shurpanaka is given as a wife, she will become Sita. Not because that she has only good qualities, but he can extract good qualities from the most demonic person also. The credit goes to Lord Ramachandra. So similarly, because the Lord is the supremely loving person, anybody would like to be controlled by the Lord. And we are resisting control because the people who are controlling doesn't have that broad-mindedness. That is why we are resisting the control. Otherwise, we like to be controlled. Our general nature is to be controlled, is to be dependent. We are happy to be dependent on a qualified person. So, till you come to the shelter of a qualified person, the tendency to control will go on, go on, go on. And the moment you come to a qualified person's shelter, this tendency will go. You are happy to be controlled by that person. So, the second tendency, that is to control, has to be given up and accept the original position of to be controlled. I am not the controller, but I am the controlled. And there is a third deviation, that is suhrudam. Everybody wants to become a well-wisher. Even though you have no power to be a well-wisher, you still want to be a well-wisher because it gives you a great mileage in the society. Such a good man. So everyone, any man who earns money, he will keep something aside for the welfare of the society. Bill Gates Foundation, or this foundation, that foundation, everyone who makes some foundation, but he keeps only his relatives in that foundation, by the way. That is there, because the controller business is there, na? You won't let it go for others to control it. So this you will find. That means the tendency to do good for others is there, but you are not the absolute welfare desiring person. Krishna is the welfare desiring person. He is the one who is actually a true friend of everyone. Suhrudam sarvabhutanam. Then what is my role? If I cannot be well-wisher, if only Krishna can be well-wisher, what is my role? That's the question. Because in everything we want our role, na? What about me? Krishna is the enjoyer, then what about me? You are enjoyed, fine, peaceful. Krishna is the controller, what am I? I am the controller, controlled, peaceful. Krishna is the well-wisher, then what am I? I must be object of Krishna's well-wishing. What is that object of Krishna's well-wishing? Whatever good Krishna is trying to do, don't resist it. Accept it. Accept it gracefully. Just before this, I was giving a class to a group of people. Somebody said, how to be dependent nicely. You are saying that, being dependent is our natural, act, natural business. How to be a dependent person? Then I gave an example. If you are in a swamp, you know what is a swamp? Everybody knows. Ubi in Telugu it is called. And if you are in a swamp, the more you try to come out, the more you will go down. Everyone knows this. So, you are desperately looking for help. So, your hand was out. And there is another person who is out of the swamp, caught hold of your hand. So, what is our business? How should we respond to the person who has extended the hand to us while we are drowning in the swamp or getting down into the swamp? What is the best thing that we can do? Pull him tightly towards the swamp. This is the best thing that we do, isn't it? That's what we do. That's what we do. Don't pull that person to the swamp. Make it a little light. Make it easy for that person to pull you out. Cooperate with that person. Instead of cooperating, you are pulling that person. So similarly, Krishna wants to pull us out, and we want to pull Krishna to the swamp, or Krishna's representative, or a sadhu. So you go to the sadhu and tell all your negative things to the sadhu. You will tell them why you are crying. All nonsense. Blah, 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 blah. He is telling about glories of Krishna. You are not interested. Chodo, glories of Krishna. What glories of Krishna? Pull me out of this swamp. You are saying, pull me out of the swamp, but you are pulling him towards the swamp. This we should not do. If we are doing this, then we are going against the will of Krishna. We should let Krishna pull us out. And the best, Krishna knows the best. Or Sadhu knows how to pull us out. We don't have to teach Sadhu, pull me like this, pull me like this. Arey, you are landed up in the swamp. You are giving instructions how to pull you. Isn't it craziness? So, see, straightforward talk nobody likes, isn't it? Although it is such an important fact that we have to consider in our life. Our situation is so low that, we don't want to take the help. We want to exploit the helper. So Krishna is saying, you stop this dirty business, these three dirty businesses, then you will be happy. Bhoktaram yajñatapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram surudam sarvabhutanam jñatva mam shanti mruchyati. You will be peaceful if you understand this. So that's all that we have to do. We don't have to do something very humongous, great, big. If at all you have plans, then plan to be a controlled person instead of being a controller. Plan to be enjoyed by Krishna. How can I be helpful for Krishna's enjoyment? Plan to cooperate with Krishna to be pulled by this swamp of material existence. Those plans we have to make, by which those plans will sustain and then we'll go back to Krishna. But if any other plans if we make, we'll be finished. We will remain in this material world forever. In spite of Krishna's best efforts to rescue us from this material world, we will continue to remain in this material world. So it's not that we don't know these things. Prabhupada is again and again telling us these things. But when it comes to execution, we don't let go of things. We want to control. We want to enjoy. Anything, any position, one little position that is offered to us, we want to just hold on to that position. Prabhupada said, even a beggar in the street is proud of his penny. He will be looking at the penny and he will be thinking he's the richest fellow. A pauper in the street is proud of his penny. Similarly, how much do we have? How much you can hold? How much time you can hold? All these big fellows, they'll be looking into the Forbes magazine. There is a magazine called Forbes. And that magazine publishes who are the richest people in the world. So if 2 becomes 1, he gets excited. And then 1 becomes 2, he gets morose. What is this enjoyment? In fact, there is no 1, 2, 3, 4. Everyone is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Ultimately, everybody is a 0 only. So this is truth. This truth has to be accepted with simplicity of heart, with all humility. Then you can be happy. Surudam sarvabhutanam jnatva mam shanti mruchi. Then you can be peaceful. Then all the plan making will be subsided. Then one can be peaceful. So then the question arises, then should we not do anything? Don't do anything extraneous. By your karmic reactions, things will come anyway. You don't have to do anything extraneous. Right? You don't have to do anything extraneous. It is like keeping an alarm in a brahmachari ashram. You understand what I am saying? Keeping an alarm in brahmachari ashram. There is no need of an alarm in brahmachari ashram. Why? Any one person gets up, you are automatically disturbed. You don't have to actually put an alarm to get specially disturbed. Similarly, disturbances will come in this world. You don't have to create disturbances. They will come by their own accord. So don't take any extra initiative to create disturbances. Huh? So this is what Bhagavatam teaches us. If we are a little humble enough to accept these teachings of Bhagavatam, we will be much better off. We'll advance very much in Krishna consciousness. So these are few points that I wanted to share with you. Have any questions? Anybody has questions or comments?
As Prabhupada was telling here about the reality of planning in material world, and we see now current scenario out in the material world when devotees are actually interacting with people, anyone there. So everyone is looking for planning. Everyone is want to make something, uh, f- m- make their identity or something, or so. And we as devotees, what you feel that we should be doing so that we don't go in that zone, but actually what we can do is we can plan for our spiritual life rather than so. What you could suggest?
Our example should be, great acharyas. That should be our example. Our example should not be, okay, Ambani is making a big plan for, expanding his business. I will use the same plan for expanding Krishna consciousness. Then we will fail, because greed is driving them. What should drive us? Not greed. Compassion should drive us. If compassion doesn't drive, passion will drive. And we don't have compassion. We must understand we don't have compassion. We have to see the compassion of the acharyas and assist the acharyas in their mission of compassion. So plan making is required for expanding Krishna consciousness as desired by acharyas. Prabhupada did not make separate plan than his spiritual master's plan. His spiritual master told him that educated young men like you should go to the West and preach Krishna consciousness in the Western countries. That was the plan that was given by Prabhupada's spiritual master. Similarly, Prabhupada has given his plans to his disciples, and their disciples, they are giving plans to their disciples. So the plan must be given. It cannot be usurped. I will do like this. This is a smart idea. I will grab this. That is a smart idea. I will grab this. Always remember, in that smart idea, there is some envy, there is some greed, there is some lust in there. And that will consume you. It is like a pure milk. If you put a little sour substance, the whole thing will be spoiled. So the examples cannot be these people who are expanding their material consciousness, material business. We can't take their examples. Oh, somebody is very active in, you know, I heard some so-called spiritualists, the way they initiate, they have a big stage. Not the stage is not the stage which the people face. There are people all over, and suddenly from the middle the stage comes up. And then he takes water. He calls it as sanctified water. And he throws the water on the people. Whoever got even a little drop, they are initiated. Bhasmasura Hasta, that is simply. It is not initiation. This is Bhasmasura Hasta. So you adopt such plan. This is, our followership will increase if we simply do this. No, this is a danger. To make a person come to his senses, you have to spend a lot of time on that person. And without doing that, these quick rich methods if we try to adopt, because some other spiritualist is adopting, we are going to be doomed. Someone is doing this, what? Food relief program. So let us also do food relief program. Then our main purpose of preaching Krishna consciousness will be sidelined. So, in Telugu we say, పులిని చూసి నక్క వాతలు పెట్టుకుంది అని. The fox, he has taken a hot rod because he wanted to appear like tiger. So he took and put that hot rod on himself, thinking that he will get the shade of a tiger. But what happened? For the rest of his life, he was burning. He was in great pain. Exactly in the same way, some very interesting ideas are thrown up by the materialistic people, and we try to absorb those ideas, not understanding that there is envy in it, lust in it, greed in it. We will be consumed by those ideas. Our ideas have to be followed by the great acharyas. Whatever they have given, we simply follow. There is protection in it. Otherwise, there is a great catastrophe waiting for us. Any other? All right. We have crossed anyway the time. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.